Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, guys. I hope you're having a really good Sunday. Today, we're going to be building a J-01, which I haven't built for a long time. And this one is quite a rare colorway. There was only 10 of these made, and I have the last one that I don't believe has been built. So it's pretty cool to get it out there and show you guys about it. Let's see who got first. Tom Barnes got first with a joke saying, "What do you call someone who used to like agricultural implements?" Bob is apparently the answer. Angry Swan's here as well. He says, "Good evening." Elkino Flop says first. No, sorry, you were not first. P. Midori's here as well. Good evening. Moonzo Empire says good evening as well. Jelly Master, thank you so much for the 19 months of subs, man. 19 months, that's kind of crazy. Kara's here as well. So is Snicket. I was testing out the build. I have an ulcer underneath my tongue, so if I stumble over my words today, it's because it hurts, so I apologize. Yeah, Snicket's here as well. Sax is here. Anarchy says, "Evening, Jay and chat. Hope you're enjoying the weekend." Yeah, it's been good, man. Thank you so much for asking. Gouty says, "Buckle up, buckaroos." Absolutely. 20% off Dual Shot. Yes, sir. 20% off the Dual Shot base kits right now. You can get them in stock today until the end of Sunday. They are 20% off, which makes them pretty damn cheap. £82.50 plus VAT, so like dirt cheap, right? Probably the cheapest GMK Instead stock there has ever been. You just remember you already bought Dual Shot, you don't need it again. That's fair. That's Wasted Ketchup's here as well. So is Moons of Empire. So is Caffeinate. 6306 says good evening all. All right, my babbers. Good evening. Autonomy says hi. King Alera says hi, Jay. Nice hat says Moons of Empire. Thank you. This was some of the free swag we got from visiting GMK not last week, the week before, 2 weeks ago now. That is the brightest we've seen in a while. Yeah, well, I always said that once we got the back wall sorted out, we'd have the stream nice and bright, and the sun is streaming in. You can probably see it on the desk right here. There's like a big glaring stripe of sun across the desk because I don't have a blind up at the window yet still, which is something I need to fix, and we'll get that sorted soon. His voice returns. Yes, so I have an ulcer underneath my tongue, and that's kind of left me with a sore throat. So all down like this side of my throat has been really sore, and like the past couple of days I've really struggled to talk with it. I was telling everyone I had a throat infection. It was just easier than explaining the actual issue in like 10 words. But I've got like a really big ulcer right underneath my tongue. It feels like I've got like a crisp stuck underneath my tongue, jabbing my tongue every time I talk. So it's really sore, really painful, and I've just tried to keep quiet for the past 2 days. So yeah. So if I stumble over my words, it's because I can't move my tongue in the way I would usually, and because it hurts. So I apologize about that in advance. In the bath with a cup of tea and cornetto. It's stream time. Cornetto sounds good right now. It's really, really warm in the office today. So I've got the temperature on the wall over there. It says 31 degrees in this room right now, which is stupidly hot. Stupidly hot. Badhowski, thank you so much for the subs. I appreciate that. 13 months. Storsness says 25 months of subs. A first still here. Thank you so much, Storsness. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Tasty, tasty.
Proper way means not checking the PCB before soldering, doesn't it? You know me so well. You know me so well, Dimatex. So yeah, very cool cap. Thank you. The cap is really cool. Yeah, the cap is really cool. So is like I have a coffee and then I have a cold drink for later on, which comes in this awesome little. I suppose it's really for coffee, but I've got sparkling water in here at the minute. Yeah, where's the camera? There it is. Nice little bottle of sparkling waters. Jenga, thank you so much for the 7 months of subs. Suggs Subs. See, I can't get some words out today, so I apologize in advance. He says hello. Thank you so much for being here. So yeah, so we did get a ton of other stuff. Like, if you want to see some of the stuff I got, I can show you, because I got a t-shirt, and I actually got a Stein from Cherry as well. I'll grab these because they're only on the table at the side. I'll grab a couple of things. Okay, so first up we got these really cool GMK keycaps. So these have the GMK logo on. I've got like 10 of these or something like that, so I'm just gonna shove a couple of these in some packages this week so people get them randomly. If you've ordered anything in stock, you might get one of these in your order. I'll let Mel and Leo handle that, so we've got those. I also got a t-shirt. You might have seen Tim's. Tim got one as well. I haven't worn this yet, but yeah, this is the Keycap crew on the back, and then it has the GMK logo on the front, which is pretty cool. And then I did get the Stein from Cherry, which is pretty cool. Also has my name engraved on it, which is pretty nice. We got this, which has got the Cherry logo on, and this is like a little treat dropper. So you press the button and it drops out treats, like that, like so. Like you press the button on the top and it drops out treats. So you fill it up with M&Ms and whatever else you want. So yeah, got some cool stuff, some cool swag. The keycaps, are they sparkly? Not really. I think it's just the light reflecting off them. They're just standard GMK plastic. I think it's just a texture you can see. Yeah, it's just a texture. They're not sparkly in any way or shape or form. They're just the GMK blue. That's all. True Blaze checking out the discount. Yeah, so the discount today, you can get up to 20% off of GMK DualShock. As you guys always struggle to pick something, I've just decided I'm going to pick the discount each week, and that finishes at midnight tonight. It's all been on the live store, been on the store live for a couple of days now, but yeah, if you want to pick up GMK DualShock, you can get it at the cheapest price in the world. Even with shipping, I think it's going to be cheaper from us than any other vendor, no matter where you are in the world. So yeah, that's pretty cool. GMK keycap crew is even cooler. Yep. Not gonna lie, I thought Tim had those made. No, Tim came to visit GMK with me. I invited him along to take some pictures and to do some Insta stories and stuff like that with, only to be told when we got there that we couldn't film anything. But it is what it is, right? So it's fine. It's fine. Sorry, this ulcer is really hurting me at the minute. Maybe I shouldn't have streamed today. We'll be fine. Need a reward now for snack timer with the dispenser. Yeah, we could do that. I saw the photos of you both, but is he so very creative is my assumption. Yeah, he's super creative. Like, he is more creative than I could ever be. So, yeah. That's a nice mug. Which one? The GMK one? Yeah, the GMK one's pretty cool. There we go. So, hat, t-shirt, mug, keycaps, Stein from Cherry. And we got a ton of other stuff from Cherry as well, like little rubber coasters and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, these ones, yeah, these are just we have in the workshop. These are Le Creuset. Hold on, it says on the other side. I'll show you. Just so you can see, these are just Le Creuset ones. So we have like 5 or 6 different colors in the workshop. Everyone is supposed to have a color. Mine's orange, Mel's is pink, Sharon's is this blue one, and Leo's is like a green colorway. And I think we have a couple of other ones as well, I think. But we don't really stick to the colors anymore. We just use whatever's available. What are we building today? Today we're going to be building a really old J-01. Back when we did the J-01 Rev 1, we did a special limited edition of the board where we made 10 of them. Well, we actually made 11. One just in case they didn't pass QC, which is the one I have here. So technically this is a B stock one. The 10 went out to people who bought them. BK members, rise up. And yeah, today we're going to build that. I haven't picked any keycaps for it yet. We're probably going to have to pick on some keycaps later on. I haven't even selected like 5 or 6 sets because it's lilac and it's kind of a... I haven't seen the colorway in a long time, so I wanted to see the color of the aluminium before we pick some keycaps. So we'll do that later on. You guys can field some suggestions. We'll pick some off the shelf. It'll take me a minute to go grab them. We're going to be building with Clackbits today. Before I do the build though, it's time to tell you about stuff that's happening at PT. The last shipment that came in last Monday, we've almost got through everything last week. There is maybe 2 big group buys and a couple of little tiny ones to get through. The 2 big ones left are Cam Little Dragon, which we're going to tackle at the back end of this week coming, and the Zoom TKLs, which we're going to tackle on Monday. So on Monday, the plan at the minute is that Leo is going to tackle in stock orders, try and get us up to speed with those. Mel and I are going to tackle the Zoom TKL orders, and then we'll start shipping them Monday, Tuesday. Once we've got those out of the way, we'll finish Cam Little Dragon, and then there's a couple of tiny loose ends to tie up. So it's going to be a really busy week, but as we were actually back on a full week for the first time in ages, where the whole staff are in and everything else, we should be in good hands to try and get through it. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. So Cam Little Dragon is probably going to be Wednesday, Thursday, I think, when we tackle that. The Zoom TKLs hopefully will do Monday, Tuesday. Sorry, Wednesday, Friday for Cam Little Dragon. Hopefully all of those orders will be out by the end of the week, and we'll be up to date with in-stock orders as well, because I think we're still processing stuff from the drop on Wednesday of last week. So because we don't work Thursdays, Friday was working day 1, Monday will be working day 2, and Tuesday will be working day 3. So everything has to ship out from last Wednesday by Tuesday to keep us within our 3 working days SLA. So we are working on it. The plan is to try and get as much out tomorrow. I think we've got about 200 outstanding orders, so quite a lot of stuff to get through. EPBT Axolotls has arrived. Yes, that came in on Friday, so we'll be processing that this week. It wasn't a huge group buy, so it's kind of counted in the handful of small ones. I think the small ones include some desk mats for GMK November Fog. There is the Aurora times Camping, the EK68 Aurora by Camping colorway. I think we've got 10 or 15 orders for that to pack and ship, which isn't a huge amount. The same for the keycaps that match that as well. EPBT Axolotls, and then Cam Little Dragon and the Zoom TKLs. That's everything that's coming on this week, I think. Other things we have going on is we do have the PT80 and PT60 PCBs. They are on a shelf still. I will try and get to them. They're just always the last thing I prioritize, because I prioritize everybody else's group buys over ours, which is really bad of me, and I shouldn't do that, but I do. So yeah, so they should be coming in stock this week. We're gonna have another in stock drop this week, but it'll be Friday, and it'll be hopefully Zoom TKLs, Cam Little Dragon, and all of the other stuff I mentioned. Hopefully that'll be what comes in on Friday. There were some Deskmat group buys we shipped out last week as well that didn't go in stock yet, so they will go in stock. So the DPAR 3 Deskmats, if you're into those, they're going to go up on Friday coming as well. And I think that's about it. I think there is a couple of sets from GMK on the way as well. GMK Tootsie maybe, and GMK Mika might be on the way, I think. But I'll have to check that. And you'll see it on the updates pages anyway as soon as stuff starts to ship. So yeah. Are the PT60 and 80 all solder only? Yes, this round is all solder PCBs. The next round we will have hot swap versions of them as well. So we'll see how those go. Was Zoom TKL ANSI only? I can't remember, but we do have some Freebird TKL PCBs and plates that are ISO compatible that are due to go in stock on Friday coming as well. So if you're interested in a high, well, I would say it's a high-end comparatively TKL, but a medium range TKL if you're in the hobby, those will be in stock this week as well. So yeah, so we'll see. I don't know what the volume of Zoom TKL extras is like. It depends on what passes and fails QC. We've barely scratched the surface of that, other than just counting that we got what we ordered. So that's all going to start on Monday, and we'll hopefully get Monday and Tuesday's orders out. We'll hopefully get the whole group buy out between Monday and Tuesday. We'll see how that goes. But I can't remember whether it was ANSI only. I'd have to check the product listing from the original group buy to see. Jellymaster's saying it was, but I'd have to double check. I can't recall from memory, sadly. So there we go. The octopus in the background is angry. Yeah, he's really cute actually. So this is, we named him on the other stream, but he's since been called Vince by the team, so he's going to be called Vince. So Vince can be really angry, or sometimes, depending on how he's feeling, he might change his feelings, and instead of being angry, he becomes really, really angry. So yeah, that's Vince. He's really angry, or sometimes he's just moderately angry. Poor Vince. Angry boy. Super angry. You love Vince? Yeah. He's cool. Repping the GMK stash. Yeah, well, there we go. What does he have to be mad about? It's really hot in the office today. It's 31 degrees Celsius in this room right now. It is really warm. Vince gets really angry when the read command has to be used. Maybe he does. I don't know. I've not asked him that, but maybe. But yeah, he's cool. He's cool as Vince. He just sits there as our little mascot. And you can kind of tell what mood is in the office by what way around he is. What else do I have to tell you in PT news? What else do I have to tell you? We are currently entering negotiations with Tasty with UPS. So there is a small chance that we will be moving away from DHL just because of DHL's prices. We're hoping that UPS can offer us a contract that meets DHL's delivery expectations and offer better pricing for customers. So we might be using them as a trial going forwards for a little bit, and then if that works out, we might pick them up full time. It really depends. We've been having some negotiations with one of their board of directors this week because they desperately want our account. So we'll see how that goes. There is potentially some opportunities for us to leverage out of them some other stuff as well. So I'll give you guys an update on how that goes. But that's something else we've got some meetings on this week. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see, but I think that's about it. What happens with inventory that does not pass QC? Usually we destroy it. Like if it's really bad, we'll just destroy it, and that's it. That's it. That's what happens with it. If we have some B stock, sometimes we'll sell them. Sometimes we'll just hold on to them forever, and we've got a big pile of B stock stuff that we've just never sold. So yeah, DHL's so good in my area, and only a few quid more than the alternatives. Yeah, I mean DHL is exceptional, and that's one of the big risks that we're looking at moving away. But the thing is that people don't want to pay £6 plus for a desk mat shipping, and I completely get that. They want to pay like 3 or 4 quid for desk mat shipping. We can't ship them by Royal Mail for that price, but that's what people expect. So the option is either we put up our prices and lower the cost of shipping, which is an option, or we look at alternative shipping companies, and UPS are trying to come up with something competitive. It may be that we use UPS for onshore and DHL for offshore for international. I don't know. We'll see. It really sees. We'll really have to wait and see. Sorry, because like it just depends on what numbers they can come up with and whether they can guarantee the level of service. So we're working on it. It's just things that are happening. We've had DPD and a few other couriers come in and talk to us. FedEx, DPD have been in. DHL have tried to revise their rates for us. UPS have been in 3 times now. So yeah, so we're just working with all of the account managers to try and come up with a better deal for customers, because that's what we want at the end of the day. We want to be able to provide what looks good for you guys. B stock auction strokes subathon giveaway setup. Maybe we could do something like that. We have a ton of stuff around, so we'll see. I don't know. Maybe at some point. Hope UPS have improved their delivery service. Before we did anything, we'd do a trial with them and maybe do like 10% of orders for a month and see if that worked before we signed any contract with them. It just really depends. Like, it's a really difficult situation, because like you can look at the really bad courier companies in the UK, such as Whisper and DPD. And I say these are bad. They're probably fine for 90% of packages, but the stuff we send, we just don't want to risk it. So we're looking at UPS. Like DHL is the standard, but it's just too expensive for most people. Like we lose maybe, I don't know, we could probably double our sales if we had cheaper courier service. So the option that's why we're looking for it. Yodel and Every are definitely not on the list. They are not on the list, and we can't use Royal Mail for what we want to do, because they just won't collect what we want them to. They just won't collect if packages are over a certain size. So those are not options that we can consider. DHL has been the standard, and we've always used them because of that reason, but we'll see. Like, it has to be good for the customer as well as for us, so it has to work out. A DPD bad now? So in the very early days of PT, we shipped something like 1,000 packages with them, and they lost nearly 25. So I won't ever go back to DPD. But it's useful to get a quote from DPD, because then we can take that to DHL and say, look, other couriers can do this. Why can't you get close to this, right? So we'll see how that goes. It's just going to be a bit of swings and roundabouts until we get there. Golden Ratio, thank you so much for the 24 months of subs, 2 whole years. He says, hi Jay, how you doing? Happy second Prototyper's birthday, Golden Ratio. Thank you so much for that. I can't believe that we've been getting subs for 2 years on this channel. That just doesn't make sense. JQ says, I guess the old office window wasn't directly in the sun. No, it wasn't. So the old office window got sun for about 20 minutes in the morning. This one gets it all afternoon from like 2 p.m. up to like now. As you can see, the sun's streaming across my desk. I do need to get a blind fitted here. Like, it's something on my list of things to do. Like my desk over in this corner, like I can't sit there from 3 o'clock because the sun just blares straight into my eyes. So it is something that I want to have a look at. UPS is stuck in my area. Guy knocks on the door and is back in his van before I get to the door. Yeah, it can happen. I mean, that can happen with anyone. So we'll see. We'll see. Every is a joke. Yeah. That's such a bad loss rate. Yep. Arila, hey, thanks for joining. Every is now area dependent. Where my mum lives, her local lady goes above and beyond, but I guess it's who delivers for them in each area. Yeah, it's so difficult with courier services. Like, we have some problems still with DHL, but they're so few and far between. Like, we ship 5,000 packages a month plus, like close to 6,000 probably now. We have like 2 or 3 issues a month with DHL. It's so small and it's so easy to handle. So yeah. Would you consider multiple courier options so people can pay more or less for the courier service they want? Or is that too much of a boiling? It's not from our end. Like, from our end, it's not too bad. We could just put the services on there. The problem is that the contracts with the courier services for the rates are based on selling and shifting and posting a certain volume each month. So if we suddenly halved the volume with DHL, the prices would go up. Whereas if we've been telling UPS the total volume, if we only told them half the volume, then their prices would go up from what they're offering us right now. So it's kind of like, it swings and roundabouts. It's a difficult position to be in, but even at the very least, we can use the UPS quote to try and get better rates with DHL. So that's like the worst outcome, is that we just get better rates with DHL. That is the least possible outcome of this, I think. And it's not something we've only been working on for a couple of weeks. We've been working on for this like all year. I think we had the first meeting with UPS in January, so it's taking time, but it's getting there. So we'll see. If shipping is only £2 cheaper or more, the person is sweating over such minor stuff. IMO, I don't know. Yeah, whilst I personally agree, Kara, like the information's there. Like, the data shows that we would sell more if the shipping was like 20% cheaper than it is right now. So yeah, like, that's just a fact. So whether we start increasing prices and just hiding the cost in there like most other companies do, maybe, we'll see. So it's a difficult balancing act, but we're trying to work through it, and we just need to do what's right for customers, what's right for sales, what's right for prototypists, and ultimately what gets us the best rates with any of the courier companies we might use. So we'll work through it, and we'll see how that goes, but it's something we need to do this week. The other big thing this week as well is we actually should be finalising our end-of-year results for last year. So November 21 to November 22, our financial reports, they'll all be on Company's House in hopefully the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I know some people will look and try and find things in there and make assumptions about what the numbers mean, because it always happens. We had it last year, so yeah, that'll happen at some point soon, so watch out for that if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Coffee check, yeah, we're drinking Jabberwocky from Has Been today, which is quite nice. Cass is here as well. Says good evening everyone, hope you've had a lovely weekend. Perlin as well. Hey Perlin, good to see you. Made about 100 gyozas and shed with the missus. Nice, that sounds really good. We had cheese and ham toasties today for tea. So yeah, that's what we had for tea today. Right, okay, I think I've covered all of the PT news. The discount is on DualShock today, which is £82.50 plus VAT, which is like the cheapest GMK set in existence as far as I'm aware that's in stock right now. So go ahead and have a look at that and purchase one if you would like to. It finishes at midnight tonight. There'll be a different discount next week. Toasties for lunch, winner. Yeah, I love a good toasty. Cheese and ham toasties and some chips in the air fryer. It was good. It was good lunch. Right, okay, so let's crack on with the build then. Let's flip over cameras. I apologise if the sunlight gets hazy on the desk and stuff like that. Like, there's very little I can do about it, so I apologise. Like, you can see that there's sunlight in certain areas. Until the sun goes down in about half an hour, it's about the best I can do. But we'll see. It'll be fine. Nice deal. Yeah, it's the cheapest in the world right now. I think no matter where you buy from in the world, if you buy it from us, the shipping, even with the shipping worldwide, is still cheaper than every other vendor right now. So we do what we can to give you guys good deals, and I hope you guys are appreciative of that. I'd personally pick an Indian as well. I love Indian cuisine. In fact, I think Mel and I are going to be going out for Indian cuisine in the next week or two, because we haven't been out for a curry in ages. So we'll probably put that on Instagram when we do. If Jay's saying Indian it should be. Well, you see, the thing is, I'll say Indian because it's my favorite cuisine. Like, of all worldwide cuisines, Indian is my favorite. Personally, no, I didn't paint it. This was painted for me by Leonardo the Mouse. He did a custom series of MX Master 3s with the SPC logo on it, which is really super cool. So these all got shipped out to the owners last week, I think. I hope they've got them now. PT Curry Meat. Yeah, sure. So yeah, so I have this version. It's lovely. Who doesn't like a bit of pink? Yeah, I can't remember who bought them now, but I'm pretty sure that everyone who did buy them got them shipped out. I think we'll have 2 available for SPC members, like next week, I think. Watch out for that, SPC guys, because they are super cool. Like, we're just selling them at cost, and we're not doing this for profit or anything else. They're just going to be at cost, but yeah. We haven't done the enamel infill tutorial yet. I do plan on doing it at some point. I am waiting for some gear to arrive to be able to do that, so we'll get that done at some point, but like, I don't know when it'll be. I don't have a date in mind yet. Right, that coffee is now done. It's getting cold, so we'll leave that. Right, okay, so what are we building today? Clackbit switches, 90 of them. Those are the switches we're going to use today. These are on sale on the website right now, so if you would like them, you can go buy some. So this is what we're going to be building with today. These are quite a clacky switch. They are linear, and they're a pretty cool colorway. So we're going to be using those today. And remember, those are in stock. You can buy them right now if you want to. We're also going to be using GMK's QMX stabilizers today because I really rate these. Again, these are in stock. You can buy them now. I really, really do rate these. These are quite possibly my favorite stabilizers on the market today. So the color is lovely for something not pink. Sure. They come pre-built with screws and washers. You get all of the 2U's, and then you also get a 6U and a 7U wire as well. 6.25 is the one that's built. So we're going to use these today. Looks like the wire on this one has just popped out. Yeah. So, I mean, we need to take these apart anyway. It looks like the wire on this one's just popped out a little bit. There we go. There we go. That's what we're going to be using today for the build, and we'll lube those up as we put them in the board. And then what about the board today? Well, today we're going to be building one of my old J-01s, and I say old J-01s because this is a J-01 Rev 1 from a couple of years back. And this particular one was part of a commission series that we did for a group of friends, and it's Lilac. It's the only Lilac board we've ever made here at PT. It is really, really nice. It's Lilac and E-White, I think, from memory. This might be silver. This is technically a B stock unit because the A stock ones have all got shipped out. We ordered an extra one just for coverage. So yeah, this is what we have today. So in the top, first of all, this is how all of the J01 Rev 1s came. You get PCB and plate. There's 2 plates in here. We are going to be building this with the ISO plate, as I'm sure you can imagine. So CF plate, ISO build. We have our daughter board. Screws must be in the board for that then. I can't recall. We can always grab some if not. We have some feet, and we have, this is the old rubber bump on feet before we had the proper PT feet. We have a JST cable, which is probably too long in the modern world, but it is what it is. And then all of these boards came with the old PT keycaps. The new J01 blackout editions come with a black version of this. It's a black cat with a grey legend on. We've got those downstairs. Yeah, Clackbits donate money to a good cause as well, so please do consider picking them up. We've got our 2 gaskets. Top gasket that goes on the top case, bottom gasket that the PCB mount rests on. Pop those to one side. Yes, we're building this ISO tank, don't worry. We do have a pen rail. This is technically the final B stock Lilac J01 golden ratio that was lying around. It's been like, I haven't even looked at this in like 2 years. And then here is the board. At least I think this is the Lilac one. If it's not, I might be wrong. This might be a completely different colorway. We'll soon find out. This should be an E-White pen rail. So I can't remember exactly what made this one B stock because it's 2 years since we quality controlled them. But I kept the only one that was B stock because the customers got the A stock ones. It may require the glue stick mod, but I don't have a glue stick, so we'll... Oh, maybe I do have a glue stick. We'll see. Yeah, the new ones for the new universal daughter boards, they don't use the JST, they use that microcontroller connector now. I can't remember what it's called. Okay, this is annoying me, let's just cheat here. Do I need to use the J-01? Not yet, no. As soon as we have news, I'll share it with you. It'll be in announcements. Because Josh has been away for a little bit, he had a death in the family, sadly. We just haven't had a chance to look at the J-01 for a little bit, but it won't be too far away. Okay, there we go. This is an E-white pen rail, which is what was designed to go with the Lilac J-01s. They should be E-white and Lilac. I'll show you guys the board. See the E-white base. First time it's seen the light of day in like 2 years. This is just all bits of dust. And here is the Lilac. So there we go. Let's get the bump-ons installed first. I'm not sure why this has got an extra pen rail with it, but it does. I had something similar last month. Best wishes to Josh and his family. Yeah, Josh is doing alright, I think. We had a little bit of a chat last week, so hopefully he's fine. Yeah, we can't do the old J-01 Rev 1 in this colour because it was a commission colour, so... We might do something with the colour for new versions of the board, though. They're different. We'll see. There's only 10 of these, so... This one will be for sale as well because I just don't have a need for it. I've got so many J-01s. Personally, that I just don't have a need for it. So this one will be for sale at some point soon. Oh, yeah, look in the light. Look at that. Maybe having the light shining across the desk isn't a bad thing, because look at that. Evening light on the board. So there we go. J03, no, same reason as for the J01. So yeah, I don't have anything else I can show on that just yet. Blackberry switches, I think TKC have cancelled our order for them, I'll be honest. Just going to take the board apart, so we're just going to undo these screws. We haven't actually decided on colours yet. Swap a board for 15 kilograms of honey. As much as I like honey, 15 kilograms probably is a little bit too much for me to do anything with. As nice as meat is, I'm just not going to get through that much. Purple Knights on it. I don't own a set of Purple Knights personally. We'll see when we get there. I do have a few purple sets that we could put up on the board. We'll see. We'll see. You guys can give me some ideas when we get to that point of the stream. Try and get this screw out without flipping the board over. I don't think I can. Oh, there we go. Sweet. There we go. So then we can take the bottom case out. Or we could. Maybe we'll do it the other way. Whoops. Well, okay. Top case off. My hands are a little bit sweaty. It's a bit warm in here today. Scuffed. It's alright, we've got a spare pen rail. It comes with a spare pen rail if this one gets scuffed. Simple construction. No, it's C stock. Well, it was always B stock anyway. I can't remember why this was B stock. Oh yeah, I can. Can you see the little scratch just here? Just there? Just there, right at the tip of my finger? That's why it was B stock for that tiny little scratch there. I think that was the only mark on it. Oh, there's a tiny little... You see the pit here?
Incredible.
It's quite a big pit just there. Can you see that? Ah, there you go. You can see it there in that light. There's like... Camera, please. Just there at the end of my fingertip, there's like a big pit. Just there. So yeah, so that's why it was B stock. It's covered in fluff. So yeah, that's the board. Here's the case. Nice and simple again. This is E-white, so nice easy colour to keep clean. Let's take this screw. Not quite small enough. Do we really need to go smaller? Yeah, there we go. Sag paneer and PLR rice. Thought I'd keep it simple. Nice. Any bread with that? Naan or chapatis or anything else? We've only just moved, Fairy Hairy Harry. Like, we've only just moved here in November last year. So I'm hoping we don't need to move for like 3 years. We'll see. Garlic naan too. Nice, good choice. Like, our old workshop was only like a third of the size of the current one. So, what's this on my arm? It's a fluff. Right, there we go. So, screws out. Let's get the daughter board back. That's going to sit just in there like so. Let's pop the first screw in. I'm just going to screw this one down, not so it's fully tight, just so it's loose, but holding everything in place. Then we're going to go diametrically opposed. And we're going to go into the bottom corner here. I'm going to get that all lined up. We're going to make sure that the USB port is nice and square against the back of the case. Then we're going to tighten this down fully. Then we're going to come back to the first one, tighten that down fully, and we can get the last two in. I am selling 3 cars, yes, 3 of my collection of cars. I'm selling a 1969 GMC KF1500 pickup truck. I'm selling a 1974 Datsun 620 pickup truck. And then I'm probably going to sell my 2005 Subaru Legacy as well, which is an estate car.
Incredible.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Brian, for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay, so that's the daughter board now nicely installed on this E-white case. Pretty tasty looking. Next job is to build the PCB and plate assembly up. In fact, actually, before we do that, we'll just plug in the JST cable and then it's done. I got the Subaru in May of last year, Gats. What's even B-stuck about this? There's a small scratch on the back just up here, and there is a small anodizing dimple just down here, just there. Just there, right at the end of my fingertip. You can just see it there. It's like a dark spot. Should be quite clear. And then the scratch. The scratch is just again, just at the end of my fingertip. So because of those, there you go, you can see that now. Because of those, this is B stock. Okay, so now the bottom case is ready. I'll put the top case back on, and then we can leave this to one side until the build is ready. To do the build, I'm going to grab a soldering mat. Remember, these are exclusive to PT and in stock here in the UK. These are American Haptics mats. Gouts, you're just blind. It's old age, mate. These are, as I say, exclusive to PT in these colorways. We've got this pink, which is glow in the dark, and we also have a green, which is the same as our logo green. So these are available in stock right now. Yes, they're expensive, but they are very, very good soldering mats, high quality, by American Haptics. So consider picking one up if you would. Here we go. We've got the carbon fiber plate, looking rather good. This is the ISO version. That's what we're going to be building today. And we have the PCB here as well. Need to arrange a weekly PT budget so you don't miss out. You mean the only version? No, there was ANSI versions of this as well. These old PCBs did have an issue with losing diodes. Doesn't look like that's the case on this particular one, so we should be good. Sometimes they end up in the bag. So we're just doing a check. These old school diodes that we used weren't always the best soldered onto the PCB, so we've changed well away from using those now. So there we go. So this is already black PCB. Next job is to find the stabilizers and lube up the stabilizers. So we're going to be going with full backspace, ISO enter, and then we're going to be, I think we can use a 7U spacebar with this PCB and plate assembly, I think. Yeah, yeah, okay. Let's just check that that does line up. No. Okay, so we can't use the 7U on this particular PCB, so we're going to have to use a 6.25, which is fine. So just the 3 stabilizers here today. Just check that does line up. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Okay, so we're going to use those 3 stabilizers. That's all we need today from this pack. Get some lube ready. Yeah, so there was a little bit of an issue with the original PCBs and plates. The designer of the plate at the time didn't accommodate for 7U in the correct way, so it doesn't fit. And it didn't fit for any of the PCBs. We did later do some plates later on, but I don't know what happened to those, and I don't have any left over, so I think they just ended up being sold. So I don't have any of those personally. I think we've still got the plate files on the website though. If anyone does want them, you can get them made up. Okay. Just going to put some lube on the wire first before we build the stabilizers together. Remember guys, it's always easier to add more lube later on than it is to take it away, so just go steady with the lube. You don't need to put too much on. These new stabilizers are pretty good though for taking lube well. So I use 205 grade 2. I think it's the best lube all round for keyboards, but I think a lot of people use BDZ for stabilizers and swear by it, so your mileage may vary, but I prefer 205 grade 2. It's just nice and thick, it goes on well, it covers well, it lasts a long time, and it does the job nicely. There we go. We'll go back and do the slider rails after we finish lubing the main parts, just because we need a cleaner brush for that part. Looking forward to seeing me do the stabs. Yeah, they're really good at these stabs actually. I've used them a few times on build streams. I'm pretty happy with them overall. They're really good. It's the fact that they're just dust proof as well It just works really good. It just works out really well for them. Yeah, it's the viscosity that's different. So G0 to G2. G2 is actually the standard, and then that's the thickest version of 205, GPL 205. But then you can get slightly less thick variants, such as G1 and then G0. G0 is pretty good for switches actually, but G2 is okay if you know what you're doing. Like, as long as you don't overloop switches already, you'll be fine with G2 too. There we go. Yeah, I've not tried 206 G2. That might be a little bit too thick, maybe. This is like getting on for the thickest that you ever want. So now we've cleaned off the brush a little bit. We're just going to go back in. We're going to do the slider rail. So you can see here that it's kind of like a two-part housing. We're just going to go into that two-part housing and just leave it lightly. So you can see now there's a very, very light coating of lubricant on the inside there. And we're going to do that again on the other side of that same housing. So just in here, just like so. Just like that. And then we're going to repeat that across all of them. Very, very thin amounts of lube on the brush. I'm not trying to gum these up, remember, you're just trying to make them slide nice and easier together. Gumming up the works is never a good thing. Do the space bar, and then we'll be done. Yeah, with ISO you do have one less stabilized because you don't have left shift to do. It is a Geon brush, yeah, we have these in stock on the website right now. Oh no, Geon. Okay, stabilizer's lubed up. It's now time to find the lid, put the lid away. Don't forget, these stabilizers and switches that we're using today are in stock on the website, so you can pick them up. Okay, so we're going to need the... maybe I should make this a little bit brighter. It's a little bit dark, isn't it? Let's see if we can make this a little bit brighter. Just a touch. There we go. I'm gonna need some screws and some washers, so we're just gonna get these ready. I'm gonna need 6 of these doing, so we're just gonna put the washer on the screw and put these to one side, and these are all ready to go to screw the stabilizers in place. And we need 6 of these because we're doing 3 stabilizers for backspace, enter, and spacebar. How's the weekend been? Yeah, it's been good, man. Thank you. Yesterday went to the park and had a nice day with the dog. My wife was out shopping with her mother, so I had the day to myself pretty much. Did some work for a couple of hours. Yeah, it was a nice day. Today, a little bit more relaxed. Tinkered around with one of the cars at home for an hour or 2. That was about it, really. Then came up to the workshop and started getting ready to work. Because streaming is part of my job, I guess. Okay. Pop the stabilizer in, and we're going to flip that over. And we're going to take one of our screws. And we're just going to screw that down nicely. Remember, guys, you're not trying to kill the PCB when you do this. You just want to go finger tight and then a 1/4 turn more. That's all you need to do. Any tighter and you're risking damaging the PCB. No, so we're still working through the Envoy giveaway that was for donations to the Macmillan Cancer Support when we did the 3 Peaks a couple of weeks ago. The reason for that is because we're still waiting on final donations and a few of the little bits from Macmillan to enable us to complete the payments and everything else. Once that's all sorted, we'll then do the drawing of the winner and it'll be announced in Discord. It's probably likely going to be closer towards the end of this month when we get that sorted. Wait, that's Bugda Regis? Nice. Yeah, they help my mum with hospice care, which is why I've got so much time for Macmillan. Right, let's just figure out which one 6.25U is. I think it's this one. A very worthwhile course. Would I still want to do Simba again? To the 3 Peaks? Yeah, I'm actually going to go climb Skyfall Pike a week on this Thursday coming. I haven't planned the route yet, but I'm going to go do that on Thursday this week. If anyone would like to tag along, drop me a DM and we can probably meet there at the car park and we can do Skyfall Pike together. Not for charity, just for the fun of it. There we go. Let's test that. Works with all of our stabilizers. Oh, wait a minute. We've got the stabilizer in the wrong place. How did we miss that? Yeah, if anyone wants to come and do Skyfall Pike with me, feel free. Otherwise, I'll be doing it on my own. Yeah, sadly the PT team will be on a day off, and I don't expect any of them to want to do it after doing the 3 Peaks. So, I'm not going to invite those, and all of my friends will be at work because it's a Thursday. So if anyone on stream or on the Discord does fancy coming along, you're more than welcome to. 3 Peaks in one day is a really tough challenge. It's amazing fun, but it's a really tough challenge. There we go. So our stabilizers are now ready, all in the correct places. The plate fits perfectly. It's time to get the switches in the build. Snowdon's a good one, actually. It's taller than any of the 3 Peaks by quite a way, but it's because the 3 Peaks you have like a 10k walk in between 2 of them, and then a 5k walk between the next 2, and then another 6-mile walk like off or 7 or 8k back into the village at the end, plus the 3 climbs. It's just like a long thing to do in one day. Like it's marathon distance, but up and down 3 mountains. I think someone has done it in like 5.5 hours or something like that, running it, which I just find obscene. But the average time to do all 3 is like 12-15 hours, and I think we did it in like 16.5 in total over 2 days. So right, Clackbit switches. Time to get these into the board and the PCB and plate assembly. Oh man, these are tight. These are completely stock switches. And this plate is really, really tight. I'm going to put these into the plate first, and then we'll get them lined up with the PCB afterwards. Oh man. Any chance I could stock the hats? I did ask GMK that, and they weren't interested in selling them at the time, but yeah, they are pretty cool. I'll see if they'll let me make some. I'll ask again. The one thing that you don't know that they had, which I talked about on my last stream, is they have GMK branded Birkenstocks at their factory that are EC grounded, so they're electrically conductive grounded. Oh man, I forgot how tight these plates were. I'm so glad we've changed the way we design these plates since we did the J-01 Rev 1. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll get these in place, we'll make sure all the pins are nice and straight, and then we'll try and push everything together, and hopefully it'll work. Because this plate is super duper tight. The snapping noise is satisfactory at least. Yeah. Dixie sells switch buttons. Do we normally type? Stumpy Burb? No. Like, sales like that mean that we're just losing massive amounts of money because we only have like a 5% margin on most products. So if you see that, we are actively losing money when you purchase from us. Yeah, they look great on the black CF. Look how good these look. It's such a lovely switch as well. And they support a great cause. Like, money from every purchase goes to charity. Details are on the product page. Ugh. So all I'm going to do is just like try and keep the pins as straight as possible and push these in, and then we'll try and align everything without bending any pins. If we bend the odd one, it won't be the end of the world. But it's just going to make things easier to like pre-build quite a lot of the board in advance, just because the plate is so stiff. Got to clear inventory to make space. Yeah, but selling things at a loss, that's not the way to clear inventory, I'm afraid. Like, that's just suicide. Right, if you guys want us to keep providing stuff, we have to sell at least a small profit. Like, we don't expect to make tons of money. That's never why we're here, you know. But we have to make at least some profit, because that's got to cover, you know, all the staff salaries. It's got to cover the warehouse rent. You know, costs just to keep the business afloat are about £1,000 a day, just to give you guys kind of like a rationale for like salaries and warehouse rent and insurances and everything else. It's just too much time, Kaz. Like, we already spend something like 20 hours a week updating Notion. To do more on the Notion pages would just be like, it's just too much work and effort. We'd have to start charging more for products if we did that, because it'd become a full-time job for someone. What's fair enough, Kara? Sorry. For the sales, if it's a big loss per sale, it's just because I think people deserve the opportunity to buy things at a reduced price. That's literally all it is. Yeah, just call it that me being a nice person, Kara. If we were less busy, Tink, we'd have no jobs going. Like, we have to be busy, otherwise we don't have the sales coming in, and we already run way less group buys than we used to do. So at one point we were running 30 to 35 group buys a month. Now we run 5 or 6. But like, if we did less, we just wouldn't have enough money coming in to pay staff. Like, I can't pay staff to sit around doing nothing. No one works full-time apart from me and Sharon. Everyone else works part-time hours and spreads it out over the week. So, like, it'd just be really difficult to do that thing. Like, really difficult. Have you considered automation for some stuff? Like, you could scan a barcode on units that have arrived and automatically update Notion or something. So, yeah, but the cost of automating stuff like that is different. And then we have to do the manual task of aligning a barcode to everything anyway, which is the same thing as just putting it in Notion. Not all of these products have a barcode from the manufacturers. So we'd have to do that manually. And by the time we've done that, we might as well just do Notion anyway. So we only have around like 5,000 to 6,000 different items in stock at any given time, so it's quite easy to manage just from memory where stuff is. Like, we'd probably have to, if we're gonna do half the volume of what we're doing now, I think we'd have to double our prices just to keep things like fair. Our biggest bill every year is paying designers. Like, we spend more than 50% of our gross profit margins on paying designers. I think it's probably close to 65% in total. Right. I'm going to struggle to guess with this bottom row without some keycaps. So let's just check we don't have any bent pins first. Everything's looking good there. Okay, let's try and get this into the PCB and plate assembly. Oh, nice, that worked way better than I was expecting it to. I think pretty much every switch has gone in there. There we go. Okay, let's check and see if we've got any bent pins. We have one bent pin, which is here. These switches don't hold on to the plate. Like, even though they're 5-pin, they don't grab hold of the PCB. Sorry. Okay, that's looking good. Let's get a switch put in for some of the other ones. Distribution work is very fascinating and hard work. Worked for numerous years at a distribution center, and there's so much complexity to the pick, pack, and dispatch of items. Yeah, like we have specific processes in place for each part of the stage of that. Everything from printing out orders to prioritizing different orders and stuff like that. Like we have processes in place to manage prioritization of group buys as they come in. Everything gets given a score, and from that score we work out what the priority is. Scores are based on a number of criteria, such as volume of the group buy, how long it's been outstanding since we sold the items, and a few other bits and pieces. So it is very interesting, but we're basically a logistics company that happens to have a side gig in keyboards at this point. Like shipping some of the products that we do from China, like all that logistics side, that just has like a massive impact on the company. Come on. This switch just does not want to go. There we go. Louis, hey man, good to see you. Should design your own keycap set, GMK by J. We did Midnight Rainbow a couple of years back. That is going to come back with another manufacturer. I'm actually waiting to hear back from them on where that project is up to, so hopefully I'll get an update on that soon. I have not been sent a Cub 65 kit, no. I don't know if I'm getting one or not, but I don't have one at the moment. Right, okay. Now we've got that, we can pop in the space bar because that's nice and easy. Right, and then we want 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Let me, have I got some keycaps to hand for this? No, let me go grab some keycaps, guys. Give me 1 second. Just grabbing some keycaps. That is my pie time. Right, so all I need here is 3 1.25U keycaps just to make sure we've got switches in the correct place on the bottom row. And this is where I can't find any 1.25U keycaps. Just great. Fan-dabby-goes. That's where the next one needs to go. Just there. I'm just gonna steal the same keycap. We'll just use the same keycap. And that should go there. And then we should do the 6.25U space bar. 6U. That's a 6.25U. I think. Yeah. Wait. And then I think I have to remind myself of the layout here. Yeah, okay. And then we need 1.5U keycaps for this end. That's one. That's two. There we go. That's all of our switches now in place, and we've just used the keycaps to make sure everything is even. Don't need any here because this version of the board has the blocker there, so we don't need to fill those in. And that does mean it's time to start soldering, which means, guys, you can now ask any questions you would like. We'll do an AMA whilst I'm soldering, so you can ask any question you'd like about any topic at all in the world. Doesn't have to be about keyboards, it can be about life, love, mysteries, science, history, philosophy, you name it. You can ask any question at all. All you need to do is tag me with @JPrototypist, ask your question, and whilst I'm soldering, I'll answer anything that you guys ask. Anything at all. Yeah, we don't need that screwdriver. Cool. Okay, so we're going to flip this over. Just do one last check for any bent pins. I think we're pretty much okay. I didn't feel any bend as we put them in. But I'll just double check every single switch. Just doing a visual check just to make sure I can see both pins for every single switch coming through the PCB. Okay, that looks pretty good. Which means we can start soldering. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solder a couple of switches in the center, and then a couple in each corner, well, one in each corner, and then once I've done that, we can start soldering properly around the board. The reason I'm doing that is just because these switches don't sit and hold into the PCB very well. It's more the PCB design on this because it's an old PCB than it is the switches. So I just want to make sure everything's nice and tight before we start soldering in earnest. So I'll just do these. You guys can get your questions in. Any topics a goer, as long as I can answer it in a stream safe way. You can ask any question you'd like. And then we'll go ahead and get the board soldered up in a nice even manner. Okay, cool. There we go. Right, first question comes from well, Pokemon Kid says, "Evening Jay, how's it going? Like the hat." Thank you very much. This is from when we visited GMK last week. Not last week, the week before. GMK were kind enough to give us some swag, including a nice little mug. And I should have a drink really before I start soldering because I've got a sore throat. Anonymous Biker says, "Sorry to repeat myself, but are you attending the festival Speed this year?" I've been invited. Like, the organisers at Goodwood have asked me to take the laurel down in my nice little GMK cup, but I don't know if I'm going to go. I don't know if I can get down there. We'll see. Like, we'll see. It'd be cool to get there, but it's just a long way to go from here. Like, because we're based in West Yorkshire. It's like a 6-hour drive at best, so it's not quick or easy for me to get to, but I would like to get there. So we'll see. We'll see. No promises either way. If we do go, you'll see it on the Insta stories though. The hardest part will be finding someone to go with because my wife just would not be interested. Like, it's just not her cup of tea at all. She won't even go in any of the classic cars, so that's my biggest challenge in life at the minute, is not driving my classic cars because the wife doesn't want to go in them. So yeah, so we'll see. Next question comes from Gout. Says, "How do you sleep at night?" Usually on my stomach with my arms under the pillow, and kind of like one leg bent at 45 degrees. That's how I usually sleep. Occasionally I'll sleep on my side, but I'm very much a stomach sleeper, I think. And I kind of alternate which leg, and whichever leg is raised up at the 45-degree angle, that's the way that my head turns as well. And I'll probably turn that a couple of times in the night. I don't think I ever sleep on my back though. Is the JF4 still going to happen? Maybe at some point. Like, the issue is the market's really slowed down for a lot of the custom keybs, and I really don't want to be in the process of like being that person who generates tons and hype for a keyboard. Like, I want people to want it because they want it, not because some influencer said, "Oh, this is really great product." Like, it just feels a bit, I don't know. It doesn't feel like the right way I want to sell my personal product. So if the market's there for it, sure. If the market's not, then no. The market's changed so dramatically since 3 years ago that I'm not sure it's the type of board that people would actually want these days. We'll see though. It's definitely not off the table. It's just we don't know yet. What did I do before I started PT? I used to work as a senior program manager or project manager or product owner, depending on which industry you're in and what you want to call it. I did that for 15 years. I was pretty good at it. It was my bread and butter. And I think that's helped me set up PT in a way that works to keep things going and projects flowing. There's a lot of people in this hobby that call themselves project managers or product owners, and then as soon as you ask them what the critical path for a product is, they have no idea what you're talking about. So it's kind of like a weird term in the hobby, but there is very much a kind of role for that type of person in real life, and that's what I used to do. I did that for 15 years for one of the largest financial institutions in the UK, where I was in charge of deploying large-scale technology, infrastructure, hardware, software deployments across 3,500 physical locations, and then up to 100,000 virtual locations, depending on what the hardware we were looking at was or the software delivery we were looking at was. So yeah, that's what I used to do. And I finished doing that about 2 years ago now, when I started to do keyboards full time, because I was just like this because it just prototyping was just taking up so much of my time at that point that it was the right solution for me to do that. I now earn less than 10% of what I used to earn, but hey, at least I'm happier, right? Okay. Have you ever thought about what, if any, music you want played at your funeral? I haven't really. I think my mum had Bad Out of Hell play at her funeral. That's what she wanted, so that's what we played for my mum by Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell. I think there is a couple of songs that I do really like and would potentially like played at my funeral. One is Massive Attack Teardrop. I just love that tune, and I always have done ever since I first heard it on an advert like 15 years ago, 20 years ago now. But I haven't thought about beyond that, so I don't really know is the honest answer. I don't really want people to, like, I don't know, like in my head I'd like to just disappear and like no one really notice when I die. Like, I just feel like I don't want to be remembered or anything like that. I just, like, once I'm gone, I just want to be gone, and that's be that. I don't know. I feel like it's just a really weird thing to want to be, for me personally, to want to be remembered after you've gone, and for people to, like, I don't know, like think about you and spend the whole day, you know, I don't know, wasting the day of their lives on me passing. It just doesn't seem like a good use of anyone's time. So I'd rather like people just didn't even notice I was gone and kind of forgot about it, I guess. So I've not really thought about it, other than the fact that I probably wouldn't really want a funeral. Ballboy says, is there any recent content creators that you enjoyed and want to share? I've always enjoyed Alex Otos. I've watched him for years, so I think he's a really good guy. I don't really have the time to watch content creators. There's a couple of good ones in the UK. JQ's really good. He's got a great personality on stream. I tend to lurk on his streams. But yeah, I don't really get a chance to watch any of the new YouTubers or Twitch streamers or anything else like that because I just don't have the time. This is quite good as well. He's good. I've got a lot of time for him. Stash Builds was really good, but I think he's dropped off now. I don't think he does as much content. So yeah, that's probably the answer to that one. Tinkerton Tink says, tell us about your D&D character. He is a human male called Flick Beans. He's level 4 now, I think. I think he's level 4 now. He's very boisterous. He likes to use long words to sound smart, but he's not particularly smartest guy in the bunch. But he likes to use long words to make himself sound smart. he is very, very much a ladies' man, as you can tell from his name. And he has a penchant for hiding magical items with the local townsfolk that he's managed to bed. So yeah, that's my D&D character in a nutshell. Did I see you doing Skyfall Pike? You're doing Skyfall as well, getting the mountain bug? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do Skyfall Pike on Thursday this week. So I'm going to try and do a mountain every other week, I think, this year. Kizzy says, what's the one item you have purchased that was below your expectations, disappointed when it arrived? In keyboards or just in general? In keyboards, Doro 67. Just in general, probably my Tesla. Yeah, probably the Tesla. How did the PT Pink Rocket logo come about? It's not PT logo, it's actually for Twitch subs, for the Stiff Pink Club, as they named themselves. They named themselves that. They came up with their own logo. I had nothing to do with it. That rocket logo is entirely for Twitch subs, and they own that, and I have nothing to do with it. I don't encourage them or anything. They just come up with this stuff on their own. So it's not a PT logo, let me be clear. It's just something that the Twitch subs have decided that they wanted to have amongst themselves. And all the power to them for doing that. So yeah. Okay, that's the soldering done. Let's see if we can get through any of the other questions that might have come up. And then I'll check the PCB and make sure everything's soldered. Moons of Empire says, on the red TGR above, what key and where would you use as an FN layer? Are you a fan of holding space instead of tapping it to activate layers? I don't like space to activate layers. On that particular board, caps lock is FN right now, so yeah. Garrett says, what's your favourite joke? Do you guys want joke time? Here's my favourite joke. It's quite a long one, so I apologise in advance. But a couple of weeks ago, I went down walking in the woods with the dog, and I bumped into my mate Cecil. Now, Cecil's a caterpillar, I've not seen him for a little while. And I said, Cecil, what have you been doing? I said, you're this big. Last time I saw you were this big. He says, I've been eating cabbages, mate. Found a little farmer's field down the road, been eating cabbages, and today I ate a whole cabbage. A couple of days later, I was walking down back in the woods again. I bumped into Cecil a little bit further down the road, and this time Cecil was this big. And I said, Cecil, what have you been doing? He's like, been eating even more cabbages, mate. Found another field, another different farmer, and this time I ate 2 whole cabbages. I was like, wow, that's very impressive, Cecil. Very impressive. A couple of days later after that, again, walking the dog, was with my wife this time, bumped into Cecil again. This time Cecil was this big. And I said, Cecil, you're a caterpillar. What have you been doing? He said, I've been eating even more cabbages. This week I've eaten 5 cabbages. I said, it's very impressive, Cecil. Very impressive. Yesterday I was walking down again, saw him, and Cecil was this big. I said, Cecil, what have you been doing? He's like, I've been eating cabbages. I ate a whole farmer's field full of cabbages today. And he says, I'm feeling great. Anyway, this morning I went to see down with the dog again, went to walk down, got almost all the way down to the river this morning, and I saw Cecil, and Cecil was just this big. And I said, Cecil, what have you been doing? He says, I got sick. Okay, next question comes from Andromeda. He says, I'd go to Festival of Speed with you. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Like, just maybe at some point. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Jay, can I change my XOX70 colour, or is it already too late? It's already too late. Those numbers have been sorted out with the manufacturer, I'm afraid. Critical what? Critical path. Do you have to know all about the tech you're implementing changing, or was it more management-based knowledge? Bit of both. Like, I'm pretty good at picking up like technical detail. One of my big skills when I was working at the bank was being able to disseminate information quite quickly. Whilst I'm probably semi-techie anyway, like I never struggled to understand how it worked or whatever the process was, which is probably why I did quite well at the job. If you made a TKL with copper accents and a pen rail, I'd be more excited than a dog with 2 dicks. It's good to know. We'll see. If you look at Goodwood on Google Maps, their satellite images are from the revival of the Festival of Speed is on. I think revival. Yeah, I don't know which one. I have looked before, but yeah, I don't know which it is. Fluffy Keeps, hey man, good to see you. If it's less busy, most likely revival. Festival of Speed is jam-packed. Yeah, both of them are packed. Wheel of Dick's time for deciding something. Yeah, that is what the SBC do. Sir Regiment says, Jay, I'm paraphrasing here, but I asked a very similar question by my father-in-law recently, so I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. I use some mechanical keyboards as a form of symbolic rebellion against the intangible nature of the digital world, a testament to our natural need for physical connection, or perhaps something else. I just want a good tool to do my job with, right? That's where it came from. At the very heart of it, I was doing something a lot, typing, writing. I wanted a good tool to do it with. If I was building a new fence and I needed a drill, I'd go out and buy a Makita or a DeWalt drill because I need that shit, right? I need something good. I need a good tool. And what the definition of a good tool varies from person to person and whatever the industry is that you need a tool for, or whatever the job is you need a tool for. For me, it was a keyboard, and I needed something that was going to be robust and strong and last a long time. And I thought I was going to buy one keyboard and be done with it. And I researched for months and months and months. And then here I am 12 years later. So it's more about having a really good tool. Yeah, there is the whole having a physical connection to something, like being able to feel that tactile feedback or that linear feedback, having that really nice click, that sound, that, you know, that the audio kind of file in you that always likes that kind of tactile feedback that you hear and see, haptics and all of that kind of stuff is part of it as well. But that's just what makes the tool good. Like, the root cause of needing it was to have a good tool to do a good job with. So I think that's where it comes from. I do think, in respect of the digital world, I do like analog things. Like, if you look at my desk, I have Nixie clocks on there, and I have like a Nixie counter thing that I need to build at some point on stream, and a ton of other things. I like flip splat displays and stuff like that we have for the Vestaboard here in the workshop. So I do like the idea of analog things being driven by digital processes. Like, that's like a cool thing in my head. Yeah, so yeah. Gary says, how do I know this joke already? I don't know, man. Like, it's just a joke. This is just a very Hungry Caterpillar, but with words. It's not. It was a little bit different. Thanks for not spoiling it, Gouty. do you use the Fuji 65? Is it worth? I don't have a Fuji 65, I'm afraid, man. No, I can't offer a thought on that. But I'm man after my own heart. Yeah, sorry guys, the joke was terrible. I apologize for that. Do I watch F1? I do. I'm a huge F1 fan. If so, F1 Silverstone this year. I can't get to Silverstone this year, unfortunately, but I am looking at going to the Netherlands Grand Prix next year. That's something I want to do. I've seen Jay's drill collection. It's worse than his keyboard collection. I've only got like 3 or 4 drills for different things. I don't have like a ton of drills, but I do have a ton of tools overall because, like, I like that kind of stuff. What's the most specialized niche tool you have? I recently got an electric compressed air pump and I love it. I don't know, like, I probably have a few that can only be used for like one thing. Like, something that springs to mind is coilover spanners. They're like a special C-shaped spanner. I must have 3 or 4 sets of those, but they can only be used for that one job. I have a ton of stuff that's like designed for just one job. I have a tool that's designed for removing grout, for example, but I don't know if I have anything that's particularly niche. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything that's super niche. Yeah, so I couldn't answer that. What's my opinions on other metals for keyboards? Depends on what you mean by other metals. I mean, I have keyboards made from aluminium, brass, copper, ALBC3, titanium. You know, short of going for tungsten, which is stupidly expensive, or if actually something I do want to do a keyboard out of is magnesium. I do want to do that, but other than that, like, it depends on really what metal you mean. Like, I've got bent folded steel cases and all sorts of stuff. So it really depends on what you mean by things. I used to work in construction, and my boss used to get me to procure my tools, so I'm anal about what I'd use. Yeah, like, I have certain brands that I tend to like. Ryobi 1 is really useful. I'm not a stupidly heavy tool user. I don't use them all day, every day. So for what I need, Ryobi 1 is kind of like the right level of quality, the right level of price, and it's kind of like the right level of access as well, because all the tools use the same battery, and I'm kind of bought into that ecosystem. They did briefly offer to sponsor me, but then that just dried up, so I'm not sure what happened on that. What was around on the custom mechanical keyboard market 12 years ago? So I was probably being a bit hyperbolic with that. The custom keyboard scene was around 12 years ago. OTD were around in 2012, so that's literally 12 years ago now. Well, 11, but nearly 12 years ago. The first true custom was probably the DK Saver, which was 2011, if I remember correctly. So the hobby was definitely around then. I think realistically I joined it in 2014, so about 9 years ago. And the first group I ever joined was SA Calm Depths. and then I moved on to a Poker 3, and I had a CM Storm and a few other things at the time before I started to buy what I class as proper customs. I think my first proper custom was probably the UK 78, but there's been a ton of other options as well. I'm so glad you did want to improve implements you use, and now we have PT. Yeah, well, that's where it came from. Platinum keyboard win. If you fund it, I'll build it. Ryobi's great. Ryobi's really good. I was looking into tungsten using keyboards. I haven't found any threads on successful projects. The problem with tungsten is the price. Like the cost to buy the tungsten is stupidly expensive, and the cost of the machine is stupidly expensive. So by the time you do it, you're going to be like if you do like a one-off 60%, you're probably going to be talking 2.5-3 grand just for the actual cost of it. That's before you factor in design time and quality control and testing. And the other thing as well is tungsten doesn't really take surface finishing well. Like you can't anodize it, you can't heat treat it like you can titanium, so it's going to have to be painted or coated, and to do that and get a long lifetime of the product is quite difficult. You could polish it, but then again that's going to add hundreds of hours of man hours time to it. So like tungstens are just a really awkward material to work with. I think there is other alternatives out there, but magnesium is probably the big one that I haven't tried that I want to try. I wish I got on the Ryobi battery platform. TTI are great. Yeah, they're really good as Ryobi. There's no reason to not jump on it now, even if you're not on it already. Fully carbon fiber board with tungsten weight win. So I do have a forged carbon fiber keyboard. It's a 65. I've forgotten the name of it, and it has a stainless steel PVD coated base. What the hell is the name of that board now? I've forgotten it, but yeah, I do have that. CM Storm was my first. Nice. Razer Black Widow with the blue LED backlight with MX Blues. Nice. That sounds horrible. I've seen people make tungsten weights before, never a full keyboard though. Yeah, like tungsten's just so expensive to machine and it's just costly. I do eventually want to get a full titanium board at some point. I do have a full titanium board from a couple of years ago. It sounds horrific. It's horrible. It's not something I ever want to use. I can't remember the name of it now. I did look this up a couple of weeks ago in the Discord. If you search for titanium in the PT Discord, you'll probably find me talking about it. I think it might have been an SPC though. Love to see a plastic board like the Orish Aquid Clean Ocean Dials. Yeah, so on plastics, I can share that I'm working with American Haptics on using some of our recycled plastics to create something. I'll have more news on that in a couple of weeks' time. I don't have it just yet, but soon. Start making boards out of metal slag, use every part of the animal.
Incredible.
Yeah, so you could melt down and then I mean a forged case would be quite good. I did speak to Alex Steele about 2 years ago, and we talked about potentially doing like a forged keyboard case, and nothing ever really came of it other than a couple of emails either way. Maybe I should pick that up again. I'd love to see a full carbon fiber keyboard, so I use carbon fiber every day. We can do stacked carbon fiber, which is fine. It doesn't sound the best though when you do that. It's great for a plate material, but you need something with a little bit more weight behind it, I think. As I said, I do have the forged carbon fiber keyboard, which is the top case. You could potentially do a forged top and bottom, but it wouldn't be cheap unless you were making a couple of thousand of them, because you have to create molds and everything else. And then they're made like in the same way fiberglass is, so it just takes a long time to do, and they have to be done by hand. It was a Tiamo, yes, Pyro Bunny, it was the Tiamo. Yes. I don't like, you wouldn't want to pay what I paid for it, so you won't want to buy it, because I think I paid like $2,000 for it. So yeah, cool. Okay, right, I think we're caught up. Back to the build stream. So our switches are all done, they're in place, everything is soldered, it's looking nice and neat. It's time for us to give the old thing a test. Do I swap keyboards every day? No, but I could. I could probably swap keyboards every day of the year and still have keyboards unused at the end of the year. But no, I don't swap keyboards every day. I generally swap keyboards about once a month. There was a cast iron case, yeah. So that was TKC. They were going to do one called the Skillet. As far as I know, they only made a couple of prototypes and never went further than that. Like, people just didn't want to pay the price for it. Because stuff like that on small numbers basis, over like a couple hundred, it's just too expensive. It just really is too expensive. Right, okay, let's give this a test then. So we're going to bring the case back over, take out the JST cable, and we're going to plug that into the keyboard. We're going to grab up switch hitter. And we're going to pop the power cable into the board here. Okay, that should now be all plugged in. Let's test it. Let's see if we have anything. Okay, yeah. So test the F keys first. F keys are all working. Test the top row. Looks like it's all working so far. Oh, we're on ASI layout. Let's fix that. There we go. Right, let's start again. Okay, looking like we're working good here. Caps lock's working as well. Left caps lock on, turn it off. Okay, all working there. ISO's all working. That's working fine. That should be FN. Yeah, so that's coming up correctly. So that's FN working. Yeah. Arrow keys all work. Page down, page up, delete, and print screen all working. So the keyboard is all working just fine. That's excellent news. It means we can now put the rest of the case back together. First thing I'm going to do is just unplug the JST connection. This fire says dog, cat. And then we're going to try and build this without the adhesive, which we used to have to use. So we're just going to tuck the cable through. See if we can put this together the old-fashioned way. I'm so glad we moved away from this gasket system. Like, it was good for the time that we were doing this, but like knowing what we know now, it's terrible. Okay, now we fed that through the PCB assembly. We can put this in. Oh, let's just unplug that first. Come on, JST connector. So the JST cable has been a little bit of a pain here. It just doesn't want to do as it's told. Okay, that should work. Okay, let's see if we can do this without having to actually go and find some glue sticks. My bet is that we can't. What's that getting caught on? Let's see if we can't tuck this in after. What is it getting caught on? I'm so glad we moved away from this design for gaskets. I think I've got it though. I think. He says, right before he realizes he doesn't get it. Okay. We're looking good, guys. We're looking good there. Has there ever been a rubber keyboard? Yeah. Check out Hebe's new injection molded keyboard. It's pretty cool. So normally I'd seal this on the inside of the top case, but without any adhesive. That's going to be a struggle. So we're just going to try and rest it in the correct place and then drop the top case over, which is not the correct way to build this gasket system. But do you know what? We've made it work this time. That's gone on perfectly. There we go. Yeah, he's using the J-02 gaskets, yeah. Oh, well, not the actual J-02 gaskets, but the same gasket system, yeah. Okay. I'm just going to go diametrically opposed. Now never open it again. For sure, man. That wasn't too bad, actually. Like, I've done a couple of these builds in the past where they've just not gone right at all, and it's just taken us, like, ages to get the gaskets right. And that was even with adhesive. So to get this one done so fast without adhesive was pretty cool. The bum looks great. Thanks, man. This is a really old board, so the new ones will look very different to this. I just feel like there's just some gasket cut just under this corner, so I'm just going to loosen off this corner and see if we can't alleviate that. Can't see it through the screw hole. It looks like it's all nice and neat and tidy. Perhaps it's just a pressure issue. Let's give that another go. There we go. There we go. J-01 is built. Clackbit switches, lilac case, E-white pen rail, E-white base. There we go. Build is completed. Which means that we can now get rid, or we can plug in a keyboard again so we can control everything. There we go. And we can now get rid of our soldering mat. There we go. Right, next job is to figure out which switches we're gonna, which keycaps we're gonna put on this board. Which means that you guys are gonna have to vote. I don't know if a mod's around. Is there any mods watching? Is there a mod around that can? Yeah, we've got to put keycaps on first, Cara. Keycaps first, and then we can sound test. Is there a mod around though, or am I going to need to do this myself? Demotex is here. Excellent. Okay, keycap picking time. You guys have the choice of 3 today, because that's just what I picked. You could go for GMK DMG, that's option 1. You can go for GMK Skeletor, option 2. Or you can go for GMK Taro, option 3. Those are your 3 options today. DMG, Skeletor, and Taro. Votes will be up in a second. And then you guys can pick from there. Demotex is going to drop the link in a second. Don't worry, it will be in chat in just a moment, and you guys will be able to pick which keycaps you'd like to see on the board in a minute. Tough to choose between the last 2. There you go. The poll is up. You guys can join the poll and vote for what you'd like to see. I've dropped a vote in there already. Who's whaling their points this week? Hopefully no one. We'll see. But yeah, you've got 3 choices. GMK Taro, GMK Skeletor, or GMK DMG. Let's see what you guys pick. Saving up for accent change. Yeah, I can't do any other accents, especially not when I've got an ulcer under my tongue, because I'm really struggling to speak at the minute. My wife's also texting me. Oh, she's sending me houses to look at on Rightmove. Shall I? Do you guys want to see what she sent me on Rightmove? So let's flip over the camera. Let me show you what she sent me. So she sent me a couple of houses on Rightmove. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. She sent me like 4 or 5. Let's look at just the last one that she sent me. So this is what she sent me. I ain't buying this house. Like, look, she sent me another one now. Yeah. I mean, it looks lovely, but it's a lot of money. I like the sink. That looks like a narrow gap. Not a fan of that. Oh wait, that's the door. It's not covered. I thought it was something else. Maybe. Okay, so it's nice. But it's 800 grand. Alright, it's the 14 Pro Max. Yeah, so this is not on. We're not doing a buy on this one. Let's have a look at the newest one she just sent me. Let's just send this one. Oh, so this is only 50. Well, this is 50 quid cheaper, right? So there you go. I mean, it looks a bit dated. Needs a bit of work, but it's nice. I like the kitchen area. It's nice and open. 50 quid cheaper, bargain. Like, that's a nice Indian meal when you move in, right? No garages with this one though. There's a little workshop though. Oh, it does have a garage. A single garage. That's no use. That's no use. Anyway, yeah, so that's what she's looking at right now. Right, you've got about 10 seconds left to vote. Looks like Skeletor is going to win the vote this time. For me, single garage is useless. Yeah, like it's just not enough. Yep, Skeletor has won. So let's get GMK Skeletor on the keyboard. That's where the 50 quid is being saved. Alright. Sure. Is that 6.25? It just looks too short. Now guys, you're going to have to tell me if this was the right choice of keycap set. Sod it, let's go for the yellow escape, because why the hell not, right? You only live once. Is that the right size for that? That can't be right. Yeah, it's way too big. That's the right size for that. I can't remember if this set's got UK ISO or not. I think it does, but I don't want to guarantee that. So we'll see in a minute. Oh, it does have UK ISO. That's the wrong key, because we've got UK ISO to go on here. There we go. 2468. I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. There we go. Don't need that. Okay. You guys will have to let me know if you think we made the right decision on keycaps as well or not, or if this is not looking so hot in your opinion. I'm keen to know either way what you think. There's someone in MK UK as well talking today about the Retro Dark Lights keycaps and saying they could see weird lines on some of the translucent keys. Just to prove a point here, this is what the underside of GMK keycaps look like. That's what he was seeing through it. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but I just thought I'd share. Purse caps lock. Purse is best, right? In the north. The north. Up north. North Yorkshire, West Yorkshire. Yeah, we might be moving to North Yorkshire if we do move. It just needs to be within driving distance of, like, PT. That's the only thing. Like, I don't want, like, a huge commute. Like, half an hour is okay. But, like, 2 hours, not okay. So, we don't want to move too far. And there's no guarantees we will move anyway. We'll see how that goes. I have yet to be convinced that moving is the right option for us right now. That doesn't mean my wife isn't having a good go at trying to convince me. LOL, the purse caps lock. Is the purse caps lock the best one in my opinion? What's your ideal sound signature? Quite clacky. I like something like quite clacky. 800k would get you a glorified shed in Cambridge? Maybe. Spooky how close the keycaps are to the switches. Yeah, I think you guys made the right choice. Like, let me know what you think, but I think you guys made the right choice. This is one of the oldest sets I have, actually. I've had this set since the day it came out. Well, since like the day it was available to purchase. Oh man, I forgot it had the green keycaps. Maybe the green escape. Let's leave that to one side and we'll make that decision in a minute. We're missing the F8 key. Where is that? There we go. This isn't OG double shots. That's true. That's true. Okay, so I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm going to change the yellow for the green, just because I think it looks a little bit nicer. So there we go. That is the board built. Yellow needs to go. Skeletal works really well. It does actually look really good. Do you know what? I'm going to just change these as well. I tend to have it usually laid out like this, but I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm just going to go vertical instead. There we go. Better. That works really well. This set has always been like this, Rugby, yeah. It had purse caps lock. Always did. Javanius, hey man, good to see you. Matches the switches nicely. Yeah, it does. Everywhere is without driving distance, the PT if you're determined enough. It's all making you feel a little queasy. What's making you feel a little queasy? Can you share your experience of the MT new keycaps? Yeah, the MT new keycaps, we got to try out a full set on a keyboard. We got to see some in production at GMK. We got to try some just like in hand out as well and have a look around the workshop and everything else at GMK. It's pretty good. Like it feels great to type on. It feels better than HSA. It feels better than MT3 to me personally. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. The yellow isn't the move. We went for the green in the end. So I think that works really well. The dual shot command going again. Conan, hey man, good to see you. Maybe get a white keycap for escape to match the pen tab. I don't think it needs it. Escape is prime for an artisan chain. Yeah, so one of the things I need to do is I actually got most of my artisan collection back from Mousy last week, so I do need to go through that at some point. Maybe we'll do that on next week's stream. Go through what I've still got left after he sold some for me. Needs a PT cap on escape. Yeah, the PT keycap wouldn't work because the green's just too different to the keycaps. Yellow is better than the green. Nah, it's better. What are favourite sets among GMK employees? I have no idea. We didn't ask them that. That's a good question. We never asked them that while we were there, so I don't know. Just caught the end of the build, but it looks great, although white escape key would look good. Yeah, I don't have white escape keycap that would work with this. I have yellow or green. And that's about it. I don't think there's a white one in Taro, no, or DMG, because that's slightly off-white. But yeah. Why did Mousy have my collection? For two reasons. One, he was selling some of my keycaps for me last year, and secondly, he took a lot of pictures for me as well. So, yeah, that's why he had my collection. So there's the build. I think this actually looks really good, guys. What do you think? There's the side profile. E-white looking stonkingly good. Ignore the fingerprints there. Should we see what this sounds like now? Bear in mind that these switches are completely stock, but let's pause the music and have a listen and see what she sounds like. It should be quite clacky because the Clackbits are quite clacky switches. So let's see. Let's zoom in just a touch. There we go. Oh, I tell you what, we could have done actually. We could have put the GMK keycap on escape, like the actual GMK keycap. I don't know. That is pretty cool. Super clacky. It'd probably be a little bit more muted if we looped the switches, but these feel great. It's really punchy. Like the clack bits are a punchy switch anyway. This sounds so good. If you like a clacky keyboard, these switches are great on carbon fiber if you like clack. That's really cool. Big fan of that. Big fan. I think it would be like 10% better if you loop the switches first, which maybe I should desolder and loop these switches. I'm not sure if I sent Pokemon Kid any to loop for me. Yeah, but if you want clack bits, I'd get some soon because they are running out. We have sold out of like half of them already, so if you do want some, pick them relatively soon. But there we go. There we go. Looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I think this is going to become my streaming board for a little bit. Wait, why is that not sitting on there properly? There we go. He didn't send me any of those. However, I have like 400 Zaku's. Yeah, I had a ton of Zaku's left over. Yeah. So yeah, so that's Clackbit on a J-01 Lilac limited edition keyboard with GMK Skeletor, the original run, round 1, which looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how that came out. I will be selling this keyboard, so if anyone wants to buy it off me, you can DM Mel and arrange that with her, because I have no use for this particular one. I have too many J01s, so yeah. It's the code this stream is for just the dual shot. There is no code this stream for switches. If you use the command, it will only come up with there you go, GMK dual shot. That's the only thing that's up there. I don't know where the switches were last week. We're not doing that this week. I don't know what it's worth. Like, whatever you think it's worth, True Blaze. I don't know. Like, look up the old retail pricing at 10%. You're probably about the right area. Geon Blacks are close to Zaku's, I heard. Picks them up with the late sorting. Yeah, they're pretty close. They're slightly different, but pretty close. If you need to shift items, by all means, open up the SPC floodgates too. Yeah, I think so. Like, the rest of my artisan collection will be for sale through SPC as well at some point. Yeah, I just need to get around to it. Oh no, why would you say this? What, that this is for sale? Yeah. Like, not the keycaps, but like the board itself. And I'd lube the switches if you wanted me to for free. But yeah, let me know. You can reach out if anyone wants that. Right, okay, shall we play a game of marbles? Because I promised you guys marbles. We'll do it for, like, I don't know, like... I'll send to someone, like, a desk mat if you win marbles today. I don't know what desk mat it'll be. You'll just get a random desk mat from us. Does that sound good? Anyone want to play for a random desk mat? Let me get this going. Do. Yes, please. Cool. Right, okay. We'll play marbles, and it's just for a desk mat. And... Wait, what? Why is that playing music? That's never done that before. What? Marbles has never played music before. Why is it doing that? Where's the settings? How do I turn this off? Where's the settings? Dude, there we go. What the hell was that about? What the hell was that about? Okay, there we go. We fixed that. Right, we're going to do a race. If I flick over to here, you should be able to see the game now. Let's pick a random track, but I want quite a long one. So 3 minutes 40? Nah, it's got to be over 4 minutes, I think. 3:52. That'll do. Let's have a go at this one. So we're just going to do a race. A winner, I'll send you a desk mat. No matter where you are in the world, I will figure out a desk mat for you, and I'll send it to you. Nice and simple. All you'll need to do is just reach out to one of our mods with the details if you win. We'll talk about that afterwards. Right, exclamation mark play does get you put into the game. You can see what everyone else is doing. Exclamation mark play, it will put you into the game. Quite a few people are in there already. And as I say, you'll just get a free desk mat shipped out to you, whoever wins. You'll have to send us like your details, like you know, your address, but we'll figure that out. Okay, I'm going to hit start. There's 60 of you in there now. You've got 20 seconds to join. Hopefully we'll get like 75 of you, something like that in. And we'll see if this is a good race. 8 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go, guys. Let's see who wins. Let's see who comes out first. It looks like Javanius and Geeky are in the lead here. Oh no, Melots takes the lead with Javanius just behind. Kaz Online's there as well. I see Pearl and Merlin's in the top 5. Back we've got Jellymaster, Tizarot and Testunot as well. Melots is on his way round the planets here. Let's see who comes around the back of Mars first. I think this is supposed to be. Melots is there still in the lead. Cats Online and Pearl and Merlin are coming through as well. Fairy Harry's in the top 10, I think. Shortened is just at the back. So is Tom Barnes and the Void Media right at the very back, bringing up the rear. Going into a little bit of an obstacle here. The Pokemon Kid has taken the lead, coming around Earth now. Oh, this is the 9 planets that we're going to visit. Here we go. Round to the dark side of Earth. Pokemon Kid is live. Future Primitive and Fractals have died. Kaz Online's just in second place. Sarajiman's overtaken Slice of Obedience as well. Slice of Me, sorry, and Obedience. Anarchy's there as well, probably top 20, something like that. Neon Ninja has got the track record out of everyone playing on this track, but he's somewhere up in the middle. Revilion is now at the back with Void Media. Void Media is slowing down even further. Let's see where we go here. Right, okay, so this is Mars. It was Mercury the first one. This must be Mars now. So coming round Mars, going with a loop around there. Meowscles in there as well. So is Dematech right in the middle. Void Media still at the back. Pokemon Kid's got a good lead, and Kaz Online's catching him up. Cypher with me just there as well, with Scratchyman coming up behind. We're about to come into the big drop now. A massive drop now as we go under Jupiter. Couldn't work out which one that was. So huge drop here. Pokemon Kid's got a massive lead now. Kaz Online's trying to catch up. Let's see if anyone can catch up as we get up towards Saturn. It's a long old straight line of people there. Gideon's there. Tinkertronic's somewhere in the middle. People still coming down. I'm still at the back there with Nice Creamy Bailey's just behind me. Void Media is way behind. Still on a really slow run today. I'm really sorry, Void Media. Maybe you'll catch up in a bit. There's a little bit of a jump here at the top by the looks of things as we come down towards Saturn across the rings. Pokemon Kid is in the lead, but is he going to make the jump? He does. He sticks the landing. It looks all good from here. He's now tearing down towards the Helter Skelter here. Slice of Me still in second. Malots is there as well. Sarajiman's coming through. Storesness is in the top 5. Balaba and Thrax 4 taking out the top 10, I think. Filament Lamp's up there as well. Pokemon Kid is slowing right down, though. Is he getting caught up here? Quite a few people catching up here. Slice of Me, Sarajiman, and Blind Obedience all overtaking here. Pokemon Kid just gets a little bit of a speed boost. Let's see how this goes as they get to the next one. Oh, it's getting really close here. Really close at the top. Let's see who's at the back. Revillion and Wasted Ketchup are at the back. It looks like Void Media has died. I can't see him anywhere back there. Pokemon Kid's still in the lead, but Sarajiman is just behind with his wings. Bit of a speed boost down. Here we come to Uranus. Chuck Death overtakes everyone. How did he get that speed? Where did he come from? Chuck Death. Massive speed from out of nowhere. And takes a huge lead. He gets stuck at the first pole though. That might slow him down enough for Pokemon Kids and Strategiman to catch up. We'll see. We'll see. There is another pole coming in the middle of the track. Let's see how this slows people down. Sarajiman's dead. Oh no, he fell off the track. So did Blind Disobedience and Cass Online. Both dead. Blind Obedience. Oh, Chuck Death is off as well. Pokemon Kid takes back his lead. Storesness is there with Balaba, Slice of Me, Gideon, and Filament Lamp. Thrax 4's there as well. This is going to slow people down as they enter this little pit. Let's see if anyone makes it through. Storesness has taken the lead, but only just. Pokemon Kid's still there in second. Gideon's coming through. Anarchy, Shortened, Dematech's all slow in the middle. Ball Boy's there as well. Someone just dropped down from the top. I think it was Laserman. Sky, Gouty, Snicky, Revillion, Filament Lamp, all dead. Turkey Thrower's dead as well. Storesness takes the win right at the very end with the Pokemon Kid, Gideon, Slice of Me, Genomic, Thrax 4, Perlin, Merlin, Sax, Laserman, and Balaba taking out the top 10. So congratulations, guys. Well done. Well done. I hope that was good fun. Oh, I've lost my breath after doing that. I like the hexagon track around Saturn. Nice reference. Yeah, it was pretty cool that about the storm. Yeah, it was good. Storesness, congratulations, you do take the win. 308 points there. You were nearly a whole second ahead of the Pokemon Kid. Let's see who the slowest was. 4 minutes 10 was the last person to finish, which is an Angry Swan. DNFs abound. Look at all the DNFs here. All the DNFs. Wow. More DNFs than finishers. But there we go. Congratulations, Storesness. If you want to just drop me a DM, I'll figure out your Desmat and ship it out to you on Monday or Tuesday. So, congratulations. There we go. Let's catch up with chat, see what you guys are talking about. Rip J, yeah, I died. Yeah. Please don't do a Lekla. Please, please. You survived, but only just finished in second. Logan Sergeant Walride. Is that a command? I don't think it is. Adam's out. Zoomies. Yeah. Pole position. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Such a good commentator. Thanks, I appreciate that. I'm probably not. I'm probably terrible, but I enjoy doing it. My marble depressurized. Yeah. I put space after my join, so I don't think it counted me. Rip. I didn't see you in there, actually, Kara. Good game, everyone. Yeah, nice. I missed the start of the stream. Was there anything in PT news? A few things on what we're doing this week and upcoming stuff, so you might want to check that out on the VOD afterwards. So yeah, probably definitely worthwhile just checking out for the sake of a couple of minutes. Cool. Voodoo Bear is live in case you'd like to raid. Yeah, I don't usually do raids, but I guess we could. I don't really know how to. I've kind of forgotten that. Let's see if we can figure that out. Oh, I can't even log into Twitch at the minute. Twitch isn't even letting me log in. So, like, I logged in through Streamlabs, but it won't let me log into the website. Anyway, it is time for me to finish. We'll try and sort out raids for next week to make sure we're raiding every week, because we should do that, really, guys. I guess we should do it, really. I'm going to head out now, go home, because it is dark now outside. So I've got a few things to do here I need to lock up. Check us out on Instagram over the next couple of days. Join the Discord. Check out what we've got on sale. If you want to pick up a set of GMK DualShock, then please do, because it's on sale until midnight. £82.50 plus VAT, the cheapest GMK set anywhere in the world right now. It's worthwhile picking up. If you want to pick up the Clackbit switches, we've sold out about half of them. We've only got about half left, but they are in stock. And also you can pick up the QMX stabilizers we used today as well, which are probably the best on the market in my opinion right now. So there. If you are interested in buying this keyboard, the J-01 in Lilac edition without the keycaps, just drop Mel a message on the Discord server and give her a rough estimate of what you're willing to pay for it, and we'll try and find it a good home in the next couple of days. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate every last one of you. Take care, have a good rest of your weekend, and do come and check us out on the Discord and Instagram over the course of the next week, because we'll have lots to share as always. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.